Hello everyone, welcome to our halftime show. Amazing game, also a really fun house tour as well. I was nice being able to see a little bit of their lives. It made me giggle. Arrow and Joey just cuddling up on the couch. Really support ADC duos. Always makes me smile. But last halftime show of Academy for us, and this is going to be our most likely to segment. It's basically like the yearbook at the end of the year. We're gonna have a little prompt of who's most likely to win the lottery. That's not actually one. And then we're all going to discuss it and just have a nice chill time. Most of them are about Proving Grounds coming up, since that's a hot topic. Easy peasy, right guys?
Should be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Let's get this yearbook signed, sealed and delivered.
I'm a sentimental person. I like this.
A nice way to put a little bow on top of the day, right? So the first one to start off, and for the first half of the questions, we are going to be keeping it between Dignitas and Immortals, just so we can keep centered around the series. First question, most likely team between these two to turn up in Proving Grounds?
Ooh. I'm going to go with Dig. IMT's been on quite the slide for the second round robin. I think that IMT have... there are things that IMT can do, I think, to improve. And I think that these very aggressive early strategies I like in this part of the season. To come PG, I kind of want to see them switch it up a little bit. I think that Dig, I mean, if I look at every member but Perry, there's actually a lot of experience on this roster. And I think that they can kind of use that to pull Perry up his play and up the team play. So I think Dig have a little bit of a better chance to turn up, especially given their seeding. They do have a stronger seed. Potentially could be 4 seed with a win here.
Potentially good. Desrex, what about you?
You know what? I have to go with Dig as well for a slightly different reason. It's more towards Insanity. We always go back to Josh and I being the TLA casters back then. Well, Insanity was on Team Liquid Academy back in those days, so he holds a special place in my heart, and seeing a lot of the development he's done as of lately during this exact split has been tremendous to me. I'm excited to see what he can bring to against a lot of these Proving Grounds mids, who I think he can actually perform heads and shoulders above with the way he's been doing on the regular season Academy. So yeah, I'm with Dignitas in this.
I will say for IMT, Pretty can do the same. I think Pretty and Insanity are both two very strong midnighters that we have. So I'm hoping that IMT can kind of continue to up their play and not have the second round robin dictate what their PG will look like.
All right, well, on to our next question. We talked about the most likely team. Now, I'll rephrase that. Who is most likely to start popping off once we get into Proving Grounds?
I'm going to go with Neo. I think that Neo plus Gamsu, I see Neo being the one that has to be the carry. So if anyone's going to pop off on Dig and be one individual member to really help push them to that next step or next level, I think it might be Neo.
All right. Desrex,
So back in 2019, me and Josh were on TLA. No, jokes aside, it's going to be Insanity again. I'm a fanboy of Insanity. I'm going to be quite honest with it.
He's playing really well.
Yeah, he's played really well. I can't really put much else past that. Other than Dignitas are in a rough situation where they need someone to be a centerpiece to revolve around. I think Insanity's perfect.
All right. Well, next question, and I know your first answer is going to be like, well, it's not going to happen. But between these two teams, which one is the most likely to be able to face down Team Liquid Honda and be able to actually win once we get to Proving Grounds?
Dig. Sticking with my Dignitas sweep.
Desiree?
I think Dig is a little bit more of a consistent team than Immortals, and when consistency isn't a thing, sometimes some wild results can happen. Immortals.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. That was the turn I wasn't
Nice.
expecting, but okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Well done, Desrex.
Yes, well done. All right, next one, and we will keep it in the scope still of these two teams before we swap into just general everyone. Which player, and to make it fun, we'll say players who haven't been playing on the LCS stage yet, all right? Most likely to move up to LCS.
Going into next year, I will stick with either mid laner, honestly. I think that both mids have been playing well. So I think LCS-wise, I would give Insanity a bit of a nod, just given that I think that PoE's been a tad better than Blue this split. But I still think that I would give the nod to either mid laner here. I think both are actually really strong in their position.
All right, and I'll answer for Deserex. Well, when me and Joshi were casting back in the day, like it just has to be Insanity.
You know, I think JJ is someone I would contend with. If we didn't have a split where we had Busio and Ayla, I think right now the amount of talent we have in the support pool is just so high. It makes it hard for JD to stand out. So Insanity, I do follow him on that one again.
I gotta say, this like split, I said it coming into the split, and I stand by it now that we're on the back half. I really feel like this was the strongest pack of 10 supports we've ever seen in Academy. I think that our support play has actually been pretty good, and I think that PG has been a big reason for that, and more role swaps to support has also been a reason. But PG, it's really hard to practice support on the solo queue ladder compared to scrims, just because scrims and team play throw so many more scenarios and decision trees where you have to make the right choices as a support compared to solo queues. So I really think that like the creation of Proving Grounds has helped elevate support play across the board, especially.
Which is really, really nice to see, because I agree, the supports in this split have just been absolutely nutty. But now, moving on into our next question, we're going to open up the floor to any team, all right? So our next question is most likely team to have a surprising Proving Grounds run. This could be positive or negative, whether you think it's surprising because you thought they'd go further and they bomb out, or someone that you kind of expect isn't going to be doing so great and all of a sudden just takes it to the end. And this could be any team. You don't have to keep it between Dignitas and Immortals.
Cubby, can I take this one first? You don't mind?
Oh, please.
Golden
Please
Guardians. Golden Guardians. I'm fully on the hype train.
Let's go, Eric.
What Swiper's been saying with Leader in the mid lane, that this is going to be a completely new team, that they're going to be completely revitalized. And so far, it's showing. I think Golden Guardians have a good chance of having a spicy Proving Grounds run.
Let's go, Eric. I like that one. So I will say, honorary shout out actually, if Dig stuck with the roster that they had for this split, I would have answered Dig based on their play in week 5 and 6. I think that, the Hoon XU, Insanity, I actually think Dig would have been a top 4 team come PG. And hey, with one win here, they have a chance to be a top 4 seed as well.
Sure.
In terms of surprising runs though, FlyQuest top 4. I have a lot of faith in FlyQuest. They had a 6-0 week. I think UG Spyrax, they got close last split. Tomo and Kumo have really stepped up their play this week. I think that was a big part of their 6-0. They're playing more as a team, more on the same page. I have faith in Diamond in the tournament format, so I think FlyQuest top 4. That'll be, I don't know if that's necessarily a surprise, but I think that FlyQuest will be a very impressive team to watch.
All right. And I'm just going to agree with Deserex on this one, because I really think that Golden Guardians, with how they've been lately, it could be a nice hop around. We'll have to see how things go down today, but maybe I'm just a sucker for, a underdog story, so.
I am too. Yeah. Don't worry about that. I'm rooting for Action Jackson no matter what team he's on.
All right, well, heading into this next one, I feel like based off of how conversations have gone, that I can already have a couple of predictions on who you're going to be saying for this one, but most likely to get the most improved team award. That definitely exists.
Okay, so one thing I will say about GGA is that their roster has, it just kind of formed. So I could definitely argue that it is improved, but was that improvement because leader joined, player personnel as well? I think that actually kind of hurts the argument for most improved, for me personally a little bit, since I kind of look at them just roster based, hey, this roster is actually good now they have all their pieces here. Most improved? Crap. It would have been Dignitas, honestly. But
would've, could've.
I'll go with 100 Thieves. They're the youngest team in Academy, and I think that they don't just beat people with hands anymore, even if they still do beat people with hands. So I will actually give it to them.
Okay, Deserex?
I have 2 that come to mind right off the bat. One is, if we're looking at the word most improved and taking it literally, Cloud9. They started off with a sub squad, 9th place in every single week. They were jumping in position on that leaderboard, so they were literally the most improved team. The one that I think takes this in a much more reasonable sense is going to be Evil Geniuses. I remember Josh at the start of the season had this statement where he was like, EG, this is my hot take, they're going to be the most improved team. Sierra, you were there for that. We had that segment together where he was able to say that, but I think that's mostly been true. From week to week, we've been seeing Tomio step up a lot more, and it's been affecting a lot of his other lanes that have been getting consistently better lane stats from week to week.
Surdy too.
Yeah, Surdy especially. So Evil Geniuses, that's where the most improved would go, if I were to stick with my heart on that.
I like how everything comes full circle, too.
Big fan of Surdy. Also, worth noting, other stream, EG did win game 1 against C9. So C9 have locked 3rd seed, 100 Thieves have locked 2nd seed heading in the PG.
Okay. Nice. I like the update. Thank you very much. Now, a 180 into our last question of the most likely to segment. Most likely to join Deserex in a music video. This could be from any team, but I'm saying right now you're not allowed to say Darshan because that is way too easy peasy. We already know that's the answer.
Okay, can I put one more off limits for you, Sarah?
Diamond?
No diamond. Yeah, no diamond.
No diamond?
Oh, there's some backstory I need on this? All right, well, we'll keep on going. Yeah.
BDB. We saw him in the PG video, or the Dungeons and Dragons video. I think Beatdown Boulevard is going to have to hop in.
I was talking player, but honestly,
yeah.
I enjoy that.
No.
I enjoy that. See that?
Am I picking in this?
Yeah, you have to pick. This is kind of the feelers out there for.
Put a feeler out there, Deserex. Try and charm someone in the league.
Who do I want? You know what? I want Will.
Let's go.
I want Will. That's what I want.
The young jungler.
Yeah.
Let's go. I feel like there could be a fun music video about that. Maybe content in the future. Make sure to follow Path to Yes on Twitter. We'll see. It is time, though, for our final game over on the Path to LCS channel. The first one was a banger. Fingers crossed going into the second one. It's going to be just as great. I'll catch you two later.
All right. Thank you, Sierra and Cubby. It's time to get a little bit sentimental now. This is the last game for us of this regular season. Closing out in just a moment, and Immortals Progressive Dignitas Game 2. After that Game 1, I'm hoping to give us more of that as a goodbye gift.
I'll get sentimental when PG comes, Deserex. It's been a great split. I'm glad I got to enjoy my last day with you and Sierra, who both have stepped up and stepped in and not missed a beat joining Academy in summer. It's been a pleasure. But I'm ready for the game. Hopefully we end on a good one. Hopefully we see Dignitas continue to make some of the good decisions that we have seen them making today. As I think Dig, that last game, I really like the comp they put together, and I'm really curious to see what happens with the Udyr pick for Perry. Someone that is a rookie, is newer to the Academy stage. Chad plays it himself. He's 2-0 on the pick, so I'm wondering if that ends up becoming a priority for Immortals in this draft.
And still reiterating that Dignitas want to take this game too. They need to take it if they want to lock in that 4th place. So, as the final ban does come in, it's going to be Poppy banned away. First pick coming out for Immortals Progressive, and they're going straight to that Aphelios.
Okay, so no Renata. I want to see Neo just grab the Jinx again. I feel like that matchup is A-okay here for the side of Dignitas, unless they want to try and play something else. Kalista into Aphelios, not a matchup that many of our marksmen look for, but Neo is a fantastic Kalista player. But as I was teasing, should be the Jinx, just take the range. And then the option for Dig, grab the Tahm Kench now, deny that from the Aphelios, or do you end up grabbing something like the Udyr? I really, in this matchup, Aphelios versus Jinx, I actually favor whoever has the TK. So I think given all the dive that we have in the current meta, TK can help get you out of the laning phase. I think that some of the really hard counters in the TK, we just don't have people playing at the moment. And so I would like to see JJ pick that up.
So we'll see if they're willing to grab it. Nope, not going for the TK. Instead, Perry will be playing the Viego this time. So
Udyr Tahm. Go Udyr Tahm. Just take their strat. Steal it. You got
Steal
Immortals.
it. Steal it. Might not be 100 Thieves, but it's all right. It's all right. You're the 101st Thief. Take it away.
Wondering if that ends up being the go-to for Chad. Does have options if he wants to grab his jungler now. Rengar is his most played this split. Always have to look out for that one. But Chad, with the deep champ pool, might be looking to eat a couple bans. That's okay, as it will be a Gwen locked in for Vital blind. This will force Gamsu to take the GP on 3, or if Dig want that Tahm Kench, they'll have to make a choice, but we'll see if the Tahm Kench is picked up by Joey here.
Alright, so far with the Gwen and Aphelios. Now with Gwen, you get those flanks out, lots of damage you can do, especially if they're a little grouped together on that end. Same thing really does happen with the Aphelios and the ultimate there. It's not going to be the Tahm Kench that will be paired with the Aphelios this time. So Arrow and Joey headed back to that bot lane. They want to take that Renata once again for Joey. It was impactful in that last game, Cubby.
GP or 2K? That's the choice here now for Dignitas. Is Gamsu going to eat some bans? I think Gamsu does have a pool that can play into Gwen. Common matchups we see, Gnar, Gragas, and GP. You can eat 2 bans and play the 3rd. Tahm Kench, that's the Devourer is very unique. I think it's the right priority here for Dignitas. They're going to get that safety for the Jinx.
Alright, so the Tahm Kench. Try and dive that. It's alright. You got a Tahm Kench. We'll just press Devour and look to save your Jinx. No problems there. I'm interested in the jungle matchup now. You were talking about that deep champion pool that Chad does have. Let's see how deeply Dignitas are willing to test this here, as we have yet to have bans go out, but once that does go in, see what Chad's willing to play.
It is worth noting in the last split that deep champ pool did include a Gwen. So
okay.
I expect this to be in the hands of Vital fully. And I haven't seen Gwen jungle since the changes, frankly. I think the E nerfs would have really hurt Gwen jungle, just a guess, but never know with Chad, as he's always got something up his sleeve. And Dignitas, maybe knowing that could be a potential flex, want to make sure their bans land. Will take away the RE4 pretty, as I did talk about some of the counters to Gwen in the top side. No Gnar for Gamsu. Wouldn't be surprised if we see a GP ban as well, as Dignitas have another ban to throw out if they want to protect the mid lane blind here for Insanity.
So the final ban, I'm still looking around for Immortals to do that GP ban you were suggesting towards for Immortals Progressive. It's going to be an Udyr ban over on the side
Good
of
call.
Immortals, so not going to allow that to be picked up by Immortals Progressive. One more ban to come out for Immortals Progressive.
I think that's a very good call, as Perry doesn't want to have the tech that he used turned against him. As Perry did a great job that last game. Chad pulled off a nice first gank mid, got a kill for Pretty, but Perry really punished him from there. Made some good decisions to make sure that he was getting himself ahead on the Udyr. He was tanky enough, fed enough to make sure that, you know, wasn't able to be reset city for Immortals. That ended up paying off for Dig in the long haul. So, not going to be a GP ban, actually. Lock Gangplank. I think that's a no-brainer here for the side of Dig. Oh, Gamsu Jax. Okay. Never mind. I love it. Okay.
All right. We're going to have the Jax of Gamsu over on that top side. So throwing down the gauntlet onto this one. It's the final game, Cubby. This is a spicy way to do it.
And Pretty taking that Azir. Pretty is a fantastic control mage player. It just, given how Immortals plays, and a lot of it's been through Chad and through Pretty making plays, we haven't seen Pretty have the same success on control mages that he historically has had in other leagues. So I think that Azir take, want to see if Pretty can really pop off on this one. And I gotta say, if it does end up being a Jarvan, I would actually like that a lot for Chad. I think Jarvan plays well, and what we see so far is Chad cycling through a couple junglers. Not expecting a Rengar. Can't really play that in the Jax or Tahm Kench. Trundle would be a safe one here for Chad, and that's going to be the call. I actually like that a lot. You can steal resistances away from Jax, and you have a pillar to play around with the TK Jinx. Good in the Viego. Good pick from Chad.
Yeah, I like that zone control for Immortals. The Pillar, Empress Divide, great things to stop these resets that are going to be looking to come in from players such as Pretty. It is lots of resets coming in for Dignitas on this draft so far, as they do have the Viego alongside the Jinx. Hovering over towards the Corki now, and it is going to be locked in for Insanity.
So Corki nerfs, we've seen less Corki, less of this handshake, but it still is playable and gets better as the game goes on. Poke, something that Immortals will be vulnerable to. Looking at the Azir and the Aphelios in these objective setups. And I gotta say, for IMT, this does at least guarantee that Chad Pretty have a winning matchup. I think Azir with Shove, Trundle trying to get up in the face of Viego. Want to see if IMT can do something with that. Because I look at their other lanes, I really like Jax into Gwen. Only got better with the E nerfs to Gwen. That increases the window that you can keep on punishing with the Jax. And also, you can get pushed in the bot side with the Jinx. So I think this is really, really good for Dig still. Shoving sides. Hopefully they're able to deal with Chad and Pretty and prevent them from snowballing the map. Keep on scaling up like we saw in the last game.
And that poke can get absolutely disgusting. Even with the nerfs that we've seen, Cubby, you know, if a fed Corki gets fed, he still rockets you, still pokes you down, and makes it very, very difficult to be able to enable a team fight. As our final game of the day is now ready to hit the rift. Immortals Progressive Academy, Dignitas Academy. Dignitas one more win away from securing 4th place.
And that's a big one for Dig, and I think it would be a nice motivation boost for this roster going into PG. Again, that trade for River, the buyout, forced a late season change for Dignitas. I know that, you know, being in service to the LCS team sometimes as an academy squad, it's a bummer. It can be a couple feel bad situations, but Dig trying to take it in stride and have an opportunity to train up another rookie jungler in Perry, who I think, you know, showed some of the brains that I was talking about in the last game with his decision-making on Udyr. I thought Perry had a really nice performance and really helped Dignitas get ahead in that early game.
Echo that now. A pincer coming out from Dignitas right onto Arrow. Exhaust is going to be used. And Arrow, the wiser to burn his flash or any of his other summoner spells, knew he was caught out there. Seems like Joey forced to burn his flash on top of it. So already an early win coming out for this Jinx. Coming out for this Corki, too.
Yeah, that's a dreadful start for IMT, as they made the play to kill the ward early, and then walking up the lane, getting pinched. They didn't mark Insanity at all. That's a big mistake, and that's going to cost them. As Arrow, Joey, the double range matchup, it's late to lane. Joey has no flash, and Neo can take total control over the wave with his rockets.
Yeah, that smarks pretty badly for Immortals over on that bottom side. I mean, some saving grace. Perry is pathing upwards, so not going to have a visit towards that lane, but it makes it not safe whatsoever for the spot end.
You can see the push coming in. Now, for the side of Dig, I will say it is a mirror jungle start with both junglers starting on their respective blue buffs, so might be an angle for Chad to, or what am I saying? It's red to ground for Chad. It's reverse clear for the Trundle. As we'll see if he ends up attacking top side early or ends up reverse clearing to get back to help out this bot side. Again, Pretty is the one lane that has a lot of shove for the majority of this early game into the Corki matchup. We'll see if Pretty and Chad can utilize that to cash in, try and make something happen across the map. As Chad, he's 3 camping top. Gamsu didn't get that wave all the way in, and we'll be bouncing back to him. But if he Qs at all, he is dead.
Gamsu. Does he know? Is he realizing what is around? Has yet to burn the Q, so no leap strike going to be burnt away. Finally uses it onto Chad. Doesn't get the counter strike onto Chad as Vital
nice
follows through. A nice stun coming in from Perry to protect his top laner. The play from Chad, activated over on this top side, sends Gamsu back.
I really like that sidestep on the counter strike that Chad had. That was nice. Just allowed for him to pursue Gamsu. Got the flash out of him too. Will be Chad now taking the crab, as he can go back to the rest of his camps afterwards. And Chad, of course, pulling off an early gank, getting one of his laners a little bit of an advantage. Good to see.
Well needed. Well needed in that regard. Resets now coming in for the bot lane of Dignitas. Wave's still pretty much shoved in. You can see that Arrow and Joey are kind of holding this towards their side.
But it's still so good for Dig. Again, that early push from Neo, just having the flash down on Joey, ensured that he was able to get a cheater recall in. You can see he's sitting on a Cole now, so trying to scale up in that Aphelios matchup is Insanity.
Oh, Pretty. In, out, leaves. Insanity punishes, gets the kill. Chad will be able to pick up Insanity right after.
Way.
Actually, no. No, he doesn't. Perry body blocks well enough. Won't let it get onto his mid laner.
Oh, it's disaster early for IMT as Pretty. That was a creative attempt from him, but the one auto attack, too much, wasn't able to calculate it. Chad couldn't trade it back, and now it's a Hex Drinker already for Insanity. Hey, one of the reasons that Azir, can win this matchup is that you have to take a pit stop for that Hex Drinker, so you can hit first Mythic and second item faster than the Corki can. Those are the winning windows for the Azir, but now that the Hex Drinker and a Tear is already in for Insanity, I don't know if Pretty can continue to get the mid shove that IMT needs to make sure Chad can make plays early in this game.
Are you ready to repeat what you said in game number 1, that Dignitas have already won this one? Are you ready to take that
Not
hot
yet.
take?
No,
'Cause
it's way too early. But
we're
you know,
going into that direction.
we're going
into that direction.
Yeah, we're getting there. It's looking grim. And again, for Dig, I expect more out of IMT. I mean, this is a roster that, you know, 4 out of 5 of these members, or 3 out of 5 technically, did top 4 PG, but still Arrow was a part of that regular season. And IMT, it just feels like it's a lot of solo plays and just not coming together in some of these games. As, again, that attempt pretty Chad. It was so important that this mid-jungle duo gets ahead. Chad not able to find the kill thanks to a nice play from Pretty on the hover, or Perry on the hover, I should say. It's going to get Dig this big early gold lead as they cash in the bot lane priority, taking this first dragon.
You know, a random stat to throw out there that Immortals games have been incredibly chaotic. When it comes to the kills per minute, they tend to get towards that 1 and above moment. They tend to just slug out, tends to be a bloodbath.
Yeah.
And in the games where the kills get very, very high, I feel like that's where we start to see, you know, a lot of the glimmers of what we get from Immortals success.
What are the reasons of that? You know, IMT, they do like these early game comps. And when they realize they're behind, they're not afraid to send it, which I do really respect. I think that trying to go for winning angles when your comp technically is stronger is the right way to play. I'd rather see that than, you know, just sit back and get bled out by the enemy team. So props to Immortals there, but oh, Vital's dead.
Pillar comes out. It's not going to separate Vital from Gamsu. So Chad will be able to return one kill, or will he? Oh, Perry, almost in time, but kill will be returned, and Gamsu is just dunking on the poor rookie in the top side.
Vital has that TP to get back to that one, but Gamsu cashing in on this Jax pick. Trying to do his best impact impression as Insanity.
Oh, right onto Insanity. Insanity onto Pretty. He's not even worried about it. He'll just get the kill right then and there. No bailout comes in. Now JJ looking to defend. Insanity needs a little bit more damage. We'll try and get it onto Joey, but the flash away from Joey will keep him alive.
Oh,
Handshake goes
Joey.
out, pushing him away. Here comes Neo. Here comes JJ. Slow goes through, Abyssal Dive finds the stun, and followed by the Chomper's layer of CC, but still tanky is Chad. Will use that smite to get some health back, but another stun should guarantee the end right here.
JJ's Kench just walking forward, autoing. I gotta say, Joey had a really nice handshake buffer there to make sure that he was able to survive, but the Trundle does not. Chad falls, and Dignitas now, because Perry's there, they can take the bot side camps of IMT, and look at that bot side river for Dig. They have 4 control wards down there. So that play that Insanity was going for was well set up by Dignitas, and they cash in.
All right, we are getting an update right now. Immortals Academy are locked in for 7th place, regardless of the result of this. So this is still a game that weighs heavily on Dignitas.
If Dig 2-0, it is 4 seed for Dig. That'd be very, very impressive. Given, again, they had to sub in Perry this week, guys. Thursday. Literally their first games they play together on stage. Dignitas are looking to 2-0. An Academy team that's been playing together for the entire split. I know Immortals have been on a slide, but for Dig, this would be a huge confidence booster for them going into PG and really, you know, proof in the pudding that they have what it takes with this roster to compete with our teams in Academy and try and make a PG run.
Proving Grounds is where it's all at. There's no more Academy playoffs. It is all there where Amateur and Academy do meet up. So Dignitas fighting for that higher seeding, now sending Perry onto this top side. Vital will ward out, but gets swept out in time. Gamsu hopping onto Vital. Perry realizing the fight that is ahead, looking for the stun onto Vital, pops the ultimate and hops right onto him. Easy kill picked up for Gamsu, but the return from Chad and use the ultimate right onto Gamsu, getting some of those resistances back, but Chad is getting low. Chad is getting lower. Perry will flash out from the brush. Doesn't have enough vision, but finally collapses right onto him. Chad falls.
Really well played topside by Perry as that ult to get the stow on Vital, netted the kill, flashed away to get his cooldowns back, takes down Chad. Perry, his 2nd Academy game, really stepping up here, Desserex.
Yeah, Perry's putting on a display. He's putting on a clinic. He's putting on a highlight reel. One well needed for this young jungler here. See what else he's able to do on the map as Insanity shoves in this wave and continues pushing, but Perry set a play in the top side phenomenal.
And Vital sees Perry and dashes forward. So he's kind of wants to be ganked. I don't think Vital thought he could go down, but Jax, if you have lethal tempo, you can keep on auto-attacking. You can get all in. I love the flashes being burned here by Gamsu and Perry. Gamsu flashes away, gets his counter-strike up, buys a ton of time, and is able to turn a lot of damage down the Chad, which enables Perry to clean it up on the back half. Well played from the top side. The two new members of Dignitas Academy really pulling it together, building an advantage across the map for Dig, as they're up 1.5k gold 10 minutes in, and this is a comp. They have Corki, they have Jinx, they have range advantage as we move forward in this game, so the fact they have a lead now is really big.
Really big for Dignitas as they keep generating gold and keep generating wins. Now Dragon will be spawning within the next 5 seconds. Immortals kind of setting up over here. You're already getting the teleport to come out from Pretty, who will set up into that mid lane, calling down Vital. Make sure he gets positioning onto it. And not much of a contest to be found just yet from Dignitas. Now starting to move that mid lane over to where Chad is. But because the rest of Immortals are not there, Chad just has to walk away.
Dig's ahead. This bot lane priority, the push, the Jinx, Tom Kench, tough to deal with. Now the package too.
Ooh, package goes right out onto Joey. He's far into the back line, but the rest of Dignitas finding the collapse onto Chad, get the kill.
Oh.
Insanity flashing out. Will be able to keep his life, but Arrow,
split.
realizing he's in the wrong place to be, will have to flash on top of that. Ooh, Perry. A rare misstep coming out from the rookie. You got to give him some slack for it, though.
It's limit testing, you know, trying to see how far he can get the hitbox over the wall, as they're still going to be able to cash in.
Still cash in onto Arrow. He's all by his lonesome.
See, he missed it to feed it to Neo. Genius. Yeah. Let's go, Perry.
Absolute genius play coming out as Perry tries onto Insanity. Handshake. Pulls Insanity the other way. And some reprieve coming out for Immortals as they are able to get a kill into the mid lane and get something for this Azir.
They had to do something pretty. Nice scoop into a help from Joey. As Pretty Joey really have to step up in this game, but this game's getting out of control quickly here, Deserux's. Yeah. What, 2.5k gold lead? Neo getting plates funneled. IMT are on the Herald, but Neo's way ahead on this play.
Gamsu jumping onto Vital, who has also been ahead, has his Divine Sunderer done, so he does a lot of damage when he's able to hop onto someone. Rest of Immortals securing the Rift Herald. Now, if Immortals want to come back, where is Chad going to place his Rift Herald? What lane is he looking to activate?
Get Pretty ahead, or try and do anything you can to get Pretty into this game. As I think this game is really tough for IMT. Again, you have to find sound engages on the Corki Jinx versus a Tom Kench. That's not easy to do. And the person that has to do it has to be Pretty and Chad working together, utilizing the pillar and the displacement from the Emperor's Divide to try and combo and get IMT some favorable team fight scenarios. Not an easy task, but if anyone's going to carry this team, it's got to be Pretty.
He's done it before. Can he do it again? Now, we've always thrown back to that Talia. He's going to have to do it on the Azir this time. He will cash into plate. Curious to see what gold he has picked up, especially in comparison to Insanity, who's been getting a lot of these early kills, who's been the recipient of a lot of this early income. Immortals pressing towards the bottom lane. Going to look to get that influx of gold onto Arrow as well.
Okay, so not on the Pretty, but on to Arrow. Again, I mean, it isn't a Felios for Arrow, so we'll see what Arrow can do. Funneling it into one of the two carries here for IMT. Vital doing his best to stay relevant on the top side. As Gamsu is trying his best to snipe his eye, and Arrow.
Oh, Arrow just holding on right next to it. Arrow not too worried because he knows he has the payback. Completely saved right there. Immortals now pressing into this bottom lane, and they found something. They were able to pick up something off of the map to stop this progression that's coming out from Dignitas. Kind of giving us shades of that game number one, and still pushing forward is going to be Dignitas. One recall went out. Perry looking for the retreat, but a brilliant pillar coming out from Chad. Cuts off his exit, forces him to use the flash.
While that was going on, though, Neo, he was able to clean up the top outer turret, so both of our marksmen getting very fed across the map. As you can see, Neo has that completed call. He's very far ahead of the item curve, going for that RFC again. 2k gold lead onto Arrow. We saw what Neo could do in the last game on this Jinx Tom Kench. Set up for success again in this one. Outranges everyone on IMT. We'll have to see if IMT can pull off the combos and get the burst damage down onto Neo they need. It's going to be about splitting up that Tahm Kench and that Jinx and trying to take down the Jinx on her own self.
It's going to have to be a hell of a wombo combo coming out, and you really weigh it heavily onto Pretty. The Emperor's Divide, Shurima Shuffle, got to be a big one. Zap lands onto Pretty, but he does have the backup of Joey over here, as Immortals are going to start fighting over Dragon Control. If Dignitas take this next one, they would be at Soul Point. So going to make sure that Dragon stacking is going to be out of the win conditions of Dignitas, because they have enough already.
I don't know. I think Insanity did burn that package close to the last Dragon. I'm wondering how close he is to having others. Parry, that was aggressive.
Ooh, Parry pulled back in by the handshake, but there's JJ trying to provide some backup. But the Devourer, but Pretty, the hands finally show with the Shurima Shuffle. Now Immortals jumping forward, sending Dignitas to their tower. Immortals are fighting back, and they're saying this is not a done game.
And a mistake from IMT, Dig punished by IMT. Pretty. We talked about splitting up that Tahm Kench and the Jinx. Parry goes way too far up. JJ has to save him, and that Shurima Shuffle scoops them both back into the hands of Immortals as they cash in too. Take that Dragon. It's still a gold deficit, but that helps a lot.
Immortals!
Good night.
They keep getting more, Cubby. They fight back every time off of this chaos when it looks like a bad early game. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They're still going to outhands.
IMT ramping up into this game a little bit. Trying to deny that 4th seed from Dignitas. They might be locked in 7th themselves. But IMT still want to end this season on a high note. Want to take a game. Prove they can stop this slide going into PG. As Dig, Parry just stepped up a little bit too much there. And honestly, JJ Parry reaching pretty hard again as they find Joey.
An arrow. Still cashed in. Parry grabbing the Raptor. And now the rest of Dignitas rotating around this mid lane. You have some time. Chad over on the bottom side alongside Pretty. So you can get more chip damage onto this structure. Parry's dancing around here. And now you have Insanity who's looking to set up. Lots of poke, lots of siege coming out from Dignitas, and it's gotten the attention of Chad. He walks forward, chases out Pretty. Here comes the pillar. And now we got 4 versus 4 in the mid lane, Cubby.
Advantage Dig. You have Corki Jinx. At any match in Siege, I'm going to favor the range. And we can see the range coming up big for Dignitas as these rockets are connecting. Neo as well, firing the big ones down on the IMT. They have 4 mid, but they're slowly getting chunked out and losing pace across the map. I think that they need to put Pretty mid and, have him be the big wave clear tool. They have Pretty at the moment, bot lane matching Gamsu, but I think Pretty needs to be the one that saves this mid outer turret if they want to try and hold on to it. Arrow just reset. If Neo gets a little bit of free time with his tower, it's down, but seeing no one on the map for IMT, that's enough to scare him off.
Immortals need Pretty to step up, as he's done before in this last fight, this little exchange right here, Cubby.
And again, the split from Pretty so big.
There it is. There it is.
Because Neo cannot get any damage down in this fight. He just has to fire off the rocket and run away. So really good teamwork from Pretty. Joey using those displacement skills really well to make sure that their team were the ones that were able to find an advantage. As IMT showing some fight in this game, showing some grit that we know they have, that honestly IMT is so good at. This is a team that's never going to roll over and die. And good to see them take it to Dignitas, punish a couple mistakes we saw in the river there.
Yeah, I mean, this exact reason is why, if anyone would upset Team Liquid, it would just be the randomness and the chaos of Immortals Progressive. This is the type of games they do. You never really know who's going to come out ahead when you're watching an Immortals game. Now Dignitas getting the setup over here into the mid lane. They will take down that mid lane tower. It's going to allow them to send Neo and JJ over to this Rift Herald, where they have a good amount of control set up. So Dignitas still playing the map well on this end.
And Dig are still the ones that have a big lead. It's a 3k gold lead on the scoreboard, but when you have a Corki, you have a Jinx that are at these item breakpoints, you're much further ahead than that. And if Neo gets an early Infinity Edge, I mean, that really could be early doom on the side of IMT. So important that Pretty is able to step up and harass Dignitas towards this next dragon fight. as lucky us, Deserux, we have another Hex Tech Soul today. The gates are open on the last day.
Yeah. It's the final open. It's the final day. Open
I think
them up.
it's the... did we... I think it's the third one we've had, no?
Is it? The last
definitely
one
the
was
second.
definitely Hex. The last one was definitely Hex.
I think we had one in game 1 too. Either way. Yeah,
Treating
gates
us
are
well
open.
today.
We're showing off the new tech here.
Using those gates. Gonna move in. Will be Chad. He's scoping out where Perry is. The rest of Immortals moving around this area. And now, yeah, an invade coming in, just scouting each other out. Not much pressure to be applied from either lane, though.
Actually gets the smite out of Perry, as each jungler will have one up. But at the moment, control in the bot side does belong to IMT. Part of that is because Gamsu's in this top side, winning the split push on the Jax. Does have that frozen heart. We'll see what Gamsu can do when he groups. Is Neo and Insanity are the ones they got for. Insanity basing right now will have access to Corki package.
Gets that recall.
Yep,
25 seconds before the dragon spawns.
Perfect. This is
Immortals
going
on
to
the
be tough.
inside track.
This is going to be really tough for IMT because, yes, they have bot river control, but it is Corki package plus second Rift Herald that will come down in this wave for Dignitas.
Yeah.
So even if Dig doesn't play for this dragon, they can still get a lot mid.
But with that package, you're itching to play for this dragon.
Oh, no second Herald. Okay.
Insanity. Watch him. Watch him closely. We'll dive into that backline. He's looking to cut the entirety of Immortals progressive.
Yeah, there
Gamsu
comes the
coming in with
flank.
the Hex Gate. Now has the flank. Insanity itching to press that W. Just itching to press it. Vital also on
That's
the flank
Banshees.
here.
Vital's in trouble.
One Banshee's going to be burned. Counter-strike on to Vital. Gamsu chasing him
Dig will
away.
split.
Get to burn it off. Just poke coming out, and there it is. The package coming out from Insanity follows Joey over the wall, but Pretty will follow him as well. Payback gonna be utilized, but Joey still falls in the grand scheme. Hostile takeover
Watch
popping
Neo.
through as Perry hops after Arrow, but can't close the distance in time. Now teleport gonna be channeled as
It's a
Dignitas
firing
looking
range.
for more, but Gamsu's low.
Gamsu.
Gamsu's terribly low. He still gets the kill, and he still gets out. It's a trade.
Oh, wait.
One
Oh, wait.
for one off such a ballsy teleport, but now he's got to escape. Now he's got to find a way out of this mess, and he's got JJ to place a ward and say, right over here, buddy.
I gotta say, the fact that IMT were able to get out of that okay, impressive to me, because they were so low under that Azir turret. I thought they were going down for sure, but Neo, JJ were never able to get in position to free fire, as it would have been a firing range for Neo with no one able to stop him. Never able to get a chance, as IMT committed to one side of the fight, played out the back half well, but Gamsu zoning out Vital was huge. Dignitas uses that as an angle to take the dragon, with Insanity distracting him with the package. And yes, Insanity goes down, but look at all the damage he deals in the process. His arrow just melted, lost half his health bar to Corki package.
Yeah, Insanity with a beautiful cut right there, forcing so many members of Immortals to choose how they're going to walk, to position carefully. Gamsu here, what a madman. Look at his health bar.
Really nice use of Gale Force by Arrow. Arrow actually put the back half of that very mechanically well, as he took down, or dodged out on the stun of Perry with a Fleet of Footwork auto, as well as heal, and then flash to get the, or Gale Force to get the flash out of Gamsu too. That was very nice from Arrow, as he might have been chunked out by the Corki early, but was able to recover. As for Insanity, I do want to note, it is actually going to be that Hydra second. I will say that given the AP ratios changing on Corki, I do like Ravenous Hydra second. It delays the Ludens and the Mythic passive. That's really nice for Corki, but I think this gives you a good spike with better wave clear. So Insanity is going for this new build. We're going to see this more often as long as we're seeing Corki on this patch, given some of the nerfs to his rockets and AP ratio specifically.
His rockets can still be deadly. Immortals now pressing on to Dignitas. Insanity will look to poke away, though. Immortals backing off back into the mid lane. Take a look at the map. Gamsu on the flank. Has the way in onto Arrow. But it's all about if Dignitas want to take this fight. Hostile takeover goes off. Big team fight tool down for Immortals progressive. Gamsu is looking for Arrow, but can't get close enough. Immortals retreat into the mid lane. Dignitas establish control.
this is a scary part of the game for IMT, because look at the marksman items. Infinity Edge versus BT, and a full item down for Arrow. Given all the gold that Dignitas funneled into Neo this game, Dig can now use their range to get health bars low for IMT and can always bluff towards the Baron. I will say, doesn't look like Baron's going to be on the cards for them, though, because they can also bluff towards the Soul, as Soul points secured for Dignitas. And again, Hextech Soul and 1 win on the board for Dig would mean a solo 4th seed for them in PG. So this is the final game of the regular season for us, for Dignitas, but it has a lot of stakes to it, because that 4 seed, it was a seed that TL used to win PG last time. So, you know, might be good luck. Who knows?
Didn't know that. That's a good little fact right there, Cody.
Yeah, a little tidbit.
This is the lucky seed.
We save them. You don't want the 2 seed, because that's when you get upset by Resolve or Barrage and APA in the first round. So 2 seed is the one that's cursed.
Exclusively, APA just always heads there.
Yeah, you don't want that, but we will see, as APA, Maryville, I believe, will be in that play-in stage.
Yeah, passing down to the play-ins.
Yeah.
Rough place to be. Same place that Immortals is going to be, so might bump into each other down there.
We'll see. I think IMT did secure that 7th seed, which means DK crew for them.
Right.
Team that you're familiar with, Desirux.
Yes. Did rap for them.
Speaking of music videos.
Seen a music video right here.
No, I mean, you released one earlier today, man. I'm trying to hype up your releases, man.
I know you're hyping up the release. I thought you were going somewhere else with that for a second.
Nah, I'm going straight to the Dragon, which is what Dignitas has total control of now. You can see Insanity's waiting in base for the package and has TP. So we'll see if he uses the gates or the TP to get on the map, but it is going to be an entry bot for IMT. As Insanity gets the package up right now, securing it. And we should see him TP to this mid or bot wave. He's late, though. IMT trying to burn.
Gotta be fast here, and
big.
Immortals are faster.
Go
Hex
Baron.
Drake.
Just go Baron.
Grabbed over by them. And as you said,
Yep.
as you said, Cubby, they're heading in that direction.
Look at all the pings, and it's packaged for Insanity, so we can cast this on the Baron with IE on Jinx. Frankly, this melts.
All right, call mate. Dignitas, Baron will be spotted out. Scuttle Crab belongs to Immortals, so giving some vision over there. But Insanity is holding the line right now. He still has that package. It's such a threat. It's so hard for Immortals to find a team fight into this one. Chad's getting closer. He's looking to go for the steal, but gets pulled in by the package and Vital on the cut. Insanity running away onto the back lines with the rockets. Now Perry looking to get away from Chad, but Chad hopping onto him. Perry almost going to survive. Chad falls with him. Neo completely uncontested in the back line, but finally gets hunted down by Immortals and shut down by Vital.
I think if Insanity commits the package to the Baron, they're able to secure it. But he doesn't. He commits it to the Peel, and in the team fight, it was another massive hostile takeover from Joey that gets Immortals the team fight, or victory.
Oh, what a disaster coming out.
They're TPing. They're trying to start it.
Oh,
look, Baron.
Wow.
Double
Immortals
TP.
just going straight for it. It's the counter Baron. Straight up. Pretty's down.
Sanity has poke.
Not Pretty, excuse me. Perry's down. 5 seconds left on the clock for him to spawn, and that's a jungler. He's not teleporting back into this. Vital over the wall, chips on to Insanity, but this should be secured. Now here it comes. Emperor's Divide going to go out, pulls out Gamsu. Vital starts to run low.
Okay.
Down it goes. Over to Immortals Progressive will be the Baron, but Vital goes down. The rest of Dignitas showing up. Death Rocket on to nothing. Immortals, they catch a Dignitas slip. Now they have Baron.
All right, low-key, this best of 2 is kind of an Omega banger. I'm going to be honest. I don't know how Immortals keep on getting back into this game. I mean, I do, because it's Joey. The hostile takeovers have been massive, and when Dignitas turns on each other, that opens up the time, the space that Pretty Arrow need to pump out the deeps and make these fights happen. Take a second look. This Baron was so low, Insanity had a chance to DPS earlier. I think if he packages, they fully commit to the Baron. Dignitas can burn it. But look at the hostile takeover. Arrow able to pump out so much damage on top of it. Chad duels Perry on top of all this, and Immortals, because the hostile takeover was massive, because Insanity was zoned out of the fight, they were able to focus on the members they needed to, and they won the team fight.
A big win coming out from Immortals. You never know what's going to happen with this squad. Suddenly, they are the ones setting up the siege, even though Dignitas are the ones with the gold lead here. And now pushing forward. It's going to be a big Baron power play that needs to make up a good amount of ground that was lost in these early stages.
Structures are available for IMT as this gold deficit continues to shrink. And Immortals, yes, it's a comp where I do favor the scaling of Dig. I like the Jinx Tom Kench. But Immortals, it's not like they don't have things that are good late. Gwen can pump out damage late game. Azir, if not dealt with, can completely destroy Dignitas in a fight. I think that it still is a game where Immortals are showing they are competitive, showing that they can match some of these late game teamfight angles. See if they can continue. Oh, that's a big zap. Neo.
Careful there is Neo.
He's got the range advantage.
Turret's not going to go down, though. Baron buff's not even going to take it down.
They're long
JJ's
chasing. Look at Perry.
Chasing right here, yeah. All right. We needed someone on the case. Is it going to be Perry? No, not going to hop forward for this. Not taking the opportunity onto Immortals,
hold on.
Immortals are going to take it onto Dignitas. Perry going forward. Emperor's Divide will push JJ and Neo to the grasp of Immortals Progressive, and they just keep finding it, Cubby. They just keep finding these small plays, these small picks later on into the mid game, into the late game. Somehow it's Immortals now with a gold lead.
That's a big mistake, Neo and JJ, but a great turn and punish from Pretty as they take the carry off the map. That's 2 turrets, and IMT with Baron should be able to get a clean reset to set up for Dragon, prevent Hextech from going over from Dignitas again this game.
So here we go. At that soul point is Dignitas, but you don't have your bot lane. Still coming off the respawn. They will be up around the same time the dragon does spawn, but that means you're late to the setup here. Immortals have all 5.
The poke from Dig can still be big, but Insanity doesn't have package for this. Remember, he saved it for that Baron play. So
yeah,
with no package, with no map control, it's Super Mega Death Rocket coming in. Will not connect on the dragon. And that's soul point for both teams, again, in this game.
acquired. Waiting for one more dragon. Will it be that dragon stacking win condition for Immortals Progressive? It's taking a look at the towers right now. Just all the way to the inhibitor on the top. Same thing in the mid. Looking to make that true in the bot lane as well.
I just can't believe we're here. I really can't. Second game in a row where both teams are at soul point for dragon. And it's the same soul, Tesserux.
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
We got to end the right way, Cubby. We got to end the right way.
Sierra will appreciate that. That's crazy. As long as anyone was watching Academy yesterday, all of our shenanigans. Excited to tune in to twitch.tv/Academy after this one. But Dignitas and Immortals, they aren't letting us go without some entertainment for our last game of the split, Tesserux. They want to make sure that we're ending on a high note. As, oh, here comes another Shurelya's from Joey.
Waiting for that pillar to come in. Joey with the handshake pulls JJ in. But JJ burns his flash quickly. Now that's going to be down. With that being down, there's some of the implications here, right? You can't flash onto Neo if he does get collapsed on to do a Devour, so you are separated from him. Something pretty big right there that Immortals will be watching out for.
Flash for flash, not bad. The thing I'm still looking out for, though, look at Neo's inventory. 4 items, LDR, stopwatch. If this Jinx is not dealt with, she will deal with all of Immortals. So, with all summoner spells being available, we are 45 seconds till Baron. IMT have reclaimed map control. Very strong on their side as they have mid-push. We have to look out for Pretty, who did just finish the death cap as well. So Pretty will be tough to deal with. And Dignitas will have to keep this Azir at bay.
But still funneling into this mid lane right now is Immortals Progressive. Not really finding much else. Gamsu in the bottom lane trying to contest with Vital. And the moment you see the Pilloway coming out from Immortals, Gamsu backs off. He's not going to challenge anything right there. Doesn't want to test his luck, really, because if he goes down, and we're 34 minutes into this, death timers are long.
Baron is on the map. Last time, it was Dignitas trying to burn it in response for IMT taking a dragon. They were not able to burn it in time, and IMT crushed them in the following fight. Dig have reclaimed control over Baron briefly, but they do have to attend to their waves, as each team will fight over mid lane priority. At this point, level 16 Corki with the Jinx. Gotta believe this mid lane prio will consistently go over to Dignitas, as they do have the range advantage, and at this point the damage advantage. As, yeah, Corki was nerfed, but you're still Corki in the later stages of the game. It's a lot of damage going down in the Vital and Chad.
Oh. Okay, Chad. Oh, he stopped the Valkyrie!
No way.
Insanity's forced to burn his flash to get out. Big by Chad. Hostile takeover follows suit. It does land onto Insanity. Immortals going forward. Insanity
Watch
oh so
Neo,
low,
watch
but
Neo,
yet to
watch
fall.
Neo.
Here comes Pretty. Pretty
Neo.
onto the back line. Doesn't get onto Insanity, but Neo is ready to pop off. Waiting for that final rocket to get excited onto Pretty and will claim it. A shutdown, but Dignitas lose Parry and JJ in the process. Immortals still in prime position, and they'll transfer that to Baron.
Pretty goes down, but the stopwatch, the damage, it bought so much time that Neo, he is
Teleport.
forced to, he's got to hit the wave to get some health back. He's only half health at this point with
Package.
his double TP. Oh, Insanity grabbed the package. That's huge.
It's
He doesn't
package.
have it for
It's
Dragon now.
package. It's package. He's hopping in. He's going
it's
on to
massive.
Arrow. No, no,
No.
he goes down.
No
Arrow
way.
survives, and this is going to be a turnaround.
Watch Neo.
Neo still popping in the rockets. Needs to get excited.
Neo.
One more rocket should do it.
Uh-oh.
Finally finds it. Now can he chain it into another kill? Looking for Chad.
Oh.
Gets it on the final. A double kill picked up by Neo, and Chad heads for the hills. But Gamsu, those hills have eyes, and Gamsu's eyes peer right back at Chad as Neo rockets him down.
And you said it earlier, Deserex, the death timers are so long that these monster objectives will now go over to Dig for free as IMT starting it up. Without Pretty, they couldn't make it happen. Now Pretty, he's got ult and TP. Does he go for the big play?
Oh my word, he's going for it. He's going for
It's
it.
down though. It's down.
Pretty.
Yeah, he can't get there in time. He's got to wait for the
can't.
dragon.
He can't. What a game, Cubby. What a game. Dignitas secured the second Baron of this, turning it around off of the back of Neo's resets.
This series, man, this best of two. FlyQuest
Yeah.
has to be really, really clenching watching this one, I gotta say, as they would be the fourth seed if Dignitas end up dropping this. But, God, Dig, this fight from Insanity, the decision to grab the package, this was so close because the bailout actually saved Arrow. They were able to get the kill in time for Insanity, but he just lost too much health on the package. And then Neo and Gamsu, the AoE rockets were so big, but now we return to live. Gamsu, it's
here we
soul
go.
for Dig, but Gamsu, can he get out?
Ooh, he hops over. Joey's
Okay.
right there, though, waiting for a
Okay.
handshake, jumping on to a ward.
Okay, it's
Gamsu's
big.
going to get out. Dragon Soul for Dignitas. It is a Hex Soul. They got it, Cubby.
Oh my. This time, Dig, they have soul, and they have the scaling comp. It's level 18 on Corki. Full build in for Neo. Again, he's been so good this game. Neo, you know, we've really praised Spawn for his late game team fighting. Neo on the Jinx. His late game positioning and team fighting has been great in this series, Deserex. As with the Tom Kench, Neo, he's been given all the resources, all the tools at his disposal to make it happen. And Neo, he's been cashing in. He's been playing great in this best of two.
Playing absolutely phenomenal. And the success that they acquired from Neo will be applied into the bottom lane as they get control. Vital still shoving it away from the top. Will take a recall because he has to meet Dignitas. Can't let them free push over here. They will get that inner turret. Shouldn't be much of a contention coming out from Immortals progressive. But Immortals, they're running out of time here. They're running out of opportunities to take.
I think Pretty is waiting for Zanya's. If we get a gold toggle real quick, just to see how far away Pretty is. He does have a broken stopwatch. I think he needs the Zanya's to try and make a play. As that, I think that's the last item breakpoint that I'm really looking for until each of our teams are at, you know, Thanos late game stages. I still favor what Dignitas can do late because of the poke that Corki has and the range advantage that Jinx has, not to mention the Tom Kench to save either one. But Immortals, when the games get this late, you never know what can happen.
Ooh, Neo.
Oh, Joey.
Neo, watch for him. Death Rocket. Joey stepping
Yeah,
in the
that's
right
hard.
direction to make sure that wasn't going to land. But with that, Immortals are forced to concede this tower. Base is now cracked, and Neo is putting rockets into the inhibitor.
It's really hard at this point. Jinx, Corki, level 18 for each. And they got another wave prep mid. Oh, big one. Half health away from Joey. He just ults.
Oh, there comes hostile takeover onto nothing. Immortals have lost a major team fight tool. Can they really survive the siege here? Because the poke is coming in from Insanity.
Yeah.
The siege is being landed by Neo.
Yeah, the Hextech Soul on top of all this poke. You can see it. It just helps to follow up with the rockets. Also going to help Neo step up to space. Once Neo gets flashed up, I think it's over. If Immortals force really hard, I would not be surprised here because Neo is missing flash for only a couple more seconds.
Oh, Parry onto Pretty! Gets the stun up, enough damage for Neo to finish off the job. He'll get a double kill on top of it as he takes down Vital and continues onto the tower. Tower's down, it's time to get excited. Chad will fall as well, and with Immortals losing 3, Dignitas, they fought tooth, they fought nail, they want that position in 4th place heading into Proving Grounds, and with one more nail applied, Dignitas will secure 4th seeding.
And for Dig, this is their 2nd game with this roster. Or 2nd best of 2, 2nd series, 2nd day. Perry, he's only been at Academy for the last 2 days. Like, for Dig to find this 2-0 over Immortals, that's huge. And to get that 4th seed, it really speaks to all the work, all the effort that Dignitas put in with their multiple roster iterations that we have seen in Academy. For it to pay off with this new one, having a 2-0, moving into PG, getting that 4th seed, got to be a huge confidence builder for these guys. I know they made a couple mistakes, a couple slip-ups, but still, when push came to shove, they were the ones making the right decisions at the later stages of the game. Neo was the one stepping up with Insanity, making sure that late game comp hit. Dignitas able to make it happen. They secure that 4th seed.
4th seed, well deserved for Dignitas, as they're going to secure that with a 2-0 against Immortals Progressive. Immortals already secured in their seed leading into this game, which was 7th place onto that one. So both of our teams on this game now set for Proving Grounds. We are going to throw it over a short break. When we return, Sierra will catch you up with an interview with one of the members of our winners from Dignitas.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Verizon post-game interview. For this one, big thumbs up. I love that. I'm sitting down with Deos, coach of Dignitas, to talk a little bit about the roster and the win and heading into Proving Grounds. First off, I feel like we have to address this right from the start. Huge roster changes coming into week 7. That is a huge change. How have you and the team been dealing with that?
So, obviously, we're really happy about the fact that the people that we've been improving with have gotten the opportunity to move to the LCS. The changes are a little quick. Perry had to come in, do his best, substitute, and honestly, I think he did a really fantastic job for someone who didn't really have any real academy experience, I would say. And to be honest, even as a team, we don't really have that much experience. In fact, our first game together was yesterday, so I'd say, pretty happy. We're working to make sure that we keep up the passion, we persevere, and scale hard into PG.
Yeah, the fact that this roster now just coming together with these 2 additions is insane. And the fact that only got to play yesterday and then today has been insane. And then getting that 2-0 victory. So then how are you feeling about Proving Grounds around the corner, considering we are already seeing 2-0 victories for Dignitas?
So I don't really want to be cocky or anything, but
I'll go for it. Two games of practice, I don't know. Imagine what we can do with 1 week, a total of 7 days. The sky is the limit, truly. But on a more serious note, it really just depends on how quickly we can acclimate as 5. These teams have had, 8 weeks together. We're going to have 1 week. But a big bonus is to having such great teammates and people in the form of Spawn. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't say Spawn. Sorry, still in my head. David, Juan, Neo, Gamsu. We're all professionals, right? We all love the game. We all work hard. Perry will acclimate really quickly, and you're going to see this guy start smurfing as soon as possible. Well, you're talking about the fact that Dignitas is just going to be damn good, especially considering how little practice time. So what is that difference maker that really is going to make Dignitas shine in comparison to these teams that have had a whole split and then some to be practicing with these rosters?
I think the biggest difference maker is how hard we're willing to work. And honestly, that sounds like a real cop-out. Everyone's professional. Everyone is going to work hard, right? But I don't think they're really working as hard closely together, if that makes sense. Just to give you an example, after our games, right, we got O2'd, happens, wasn't even close to be honest, but it is what it is. We all pull up in the call, right? Perry's there, and I'm reviewing with him. I'm going through the games. And then, hold up, who's in here next? We have JJ coming in, and he's talking about the games. Then we got Insanity coming in, and then he's talking to the games. Neo comes in, right? And not even just the Academy boys. We have Exu coming in, right, from the LCS team. He's giving some tips. We have Blue coming in. I think one of our biggest strengths is that we recognize that while growing individually is important, having that strong, safe environment with the people around you accelerates that growth, and we're all willing to kind of just buy into it.
That's really well said. And then Hoon and XU now getting the opportunities in LCS. I'd love if you can just speak a little bit to your thoughts as that, because it is sad to not see them in Academy, but it's actually for a really good reason.
Mm-hmm. So, in the case for Exu, true honesty, right? He was a rookie last split. Quite frankly, wasn't ready. Kind of bad. But that's the whole purpose of Academy, right? His growth from each week to each week, his growth within the scrims, his mindset, always willing to review, right? Always asking questions. That's what led to the player he is today. And that player, in my opinion, is LCS ready. I think he's going to show up and show out on the big stage. He's going to play the same game that he plays in scrims, and that's the most important thing, honestly, for the entire Dignitas family, right? We want to play like how we play on scrims onto the stage, and people say LCS is pretty slow, but if we, play like how we do in scrims, it's not going to be slow in our games. We win it fast or losing fast. We'll see. And you mentioned Hoon too. This guy, pretty funny, but I'm in the Oracle Elixir Discord. Shout out to those guys, the most like rabid fans. That's what we need. Like really passionate fans for Academy, passionate fans for LCS. They called him like Mini Summit, Mini Keen. I mean, if you look at this guy's stats when he first arrived, even when he was jet lagged, he is absolutely demolishing people in lane and dying a lot, but demolishing people in lane, right? And that's the type of superstar power that you kind of want to see, right? People kind of knock at the LCS players like, oh, they're afraid to trade, they're afraid to take risk. And with DIGA Academy, we're willing to risk it all, right?
I love to hear that. Well, I really appreciate your insight. I feel like you're very honest and straight up, and it's very refreshing, these type of interviews. One question. I know Dignitas is one of those teams that we always see these social posts from, the really cool team poses. Can we expect some of those heading into Proving Grounds again?
Of course. I mean, slowly but surely, people are starting to buy into them. Some people are like, I don't want to take the pose. I do want to kind of take the pose. But, it's not even about the pose itself. It's about the culture, right? The culture of, like, having fun together. And I'm telling you, once one of these new guys say, how about we do this pose? He's in. He's trapped. He can't escape the Dignitas mentality. You see Neil's pose recently? He's got his back. He's protecting us. The ADC. That's simple.
Yeah, we need them to buy into these poses sooner rather than later, because our Twitter's been lacking a little bit from them. Thank you so much for talking with me. Before I let you go, this is your moment for any shoutouts, any final words.
All right, fantastic. First, I'd like to shout out all of Dignitas' sponsors. They're the best. You saw my tweet about the phone, free phone. What other teams got perks like that? I mean, what can I say? I want to shout out my family, right? Really supportive. My mom, my dad. I got 2 brothers. They're twins, and my sister. I want to shout out my girlfriend, Audrey. Fantastic. She's been here supporting me since day one. Love her so much, from the heart. Can't wait to come back home to Canada. I want to shout out,
Canada, let's
my
go.
management, Toby, Jim, James, always there in the background, here to try to do the best what they can. Shout out to the LCS team, specifically the coaches. People like to think that there really isn't that much interaction between LCS and Academy, but, since the beginning of the split and last split, I get to walk up to them. I get to kind of hear the thoughts from the best, and that's why I feel like I've gotten to the point where I am right now, where I'm really confident, because my first split was last split, right? So really hoping to scale. And finally, I want to shout out my sister. She's actually competing in a pageant, Miss Teen International. She's actually competing for Canada. And let me just show this. It's not too clear, but you gotta like, comment, and share each vote. You know, it gives her that little bit of oomph. The La Chica family, we're all competitors. It's in our blood, right?
I love the family support as well. That's some great stuff coming out. Thanks again, Deo, so much for sitting down and talking with me. Have a great rest of your night, okay?
Now, thank you. And thanks to everyone watching. We're NA's next hope. Hopefully.
NA's next, so hopefully. Right, last words. All right, let's head back over to the desk with Cubby and Deserex to talk about that NA's last hope. Hopefully. That's that's a nice statement. I like that.
Yeah. I'm sorry. That's some good stuff. He's got a good head on his shoulders, considering everything that Dignitas has gone through in these last couple of weeks. Still keeping the spirits high, all things considered, going into Proving Grounds.
Yeah, that is for sure. You know, too, when something catches Cubby off guard a little bit, when he just sits there and smiles and doesn't have anything to say about NA's hopefully last hope.
I think that today, like, I gave a speech about the culture that TLA has created over there, especially with Spawn and being remote. And I think a lot of credit is due over to Deos because, you know, the dig camp, I know it's tough, like, having roster changes made. That's not something that the academy team would have liked personally. They wanted to make a run with that group in PG. They were coming together. They were hitting the highs, but you play with the cards you're dealt with. Dignitas have been throwing some hard cards, but I think that Deos has done a really good job, and Dignitas sharing that on social media, creating that team culture, creating that winning mentality, and incorporating Perry into that now. It's a good opportunity to develop another rookie and show just how good of a rookie split Deos can have as a coach, given all the young talent he's had, getting players the LCS. Buyouts had a little bit of involvement with that, but still, I think it really speaks to what's going on in that dig camp, and it's really good to see people have that us versus them mentality and run with that in a game that's all about competition and what you got up here versus what they have up here. So.
I'm really excited, honestly, after hearing Deos talk to see how Dignitas is going to do in Proving Grounds, because he was very just candid, like, yeah, there's like only up from here. I'm very bad with paraphrasing, but
it's true. They had no scrims. Literally, the games we've seen are the games they've played. So I have faith that Deos a week of practice could help. I don't know what makes me think that, but I have some faith.
I mean, we've seen how a week of help can
hopefully
definitely help some teams in the past, but get to that. We do have a broadcast that we need to wrap up before we can hop over to that TSMGG game over on the Academy main channel. And since it is the end of the week, we do have the Samsung Fast 5, who's making to these milestones the fastest over the past couple of days. Right out of the gate, looking at 100 Thieves, top of the leaderboards for top lane and jungle, Deserex.
Yeah, 100 Thieves. All right. Final week. Still getting in the numbers, and good to see. I'm looking elsewhere, not as much Team Liquid presence as we're used to, at least. I am seeing a lot more Cloud9 popping up, which personally has me excited. I see him as a good front runner coming into Proving Grounds.
A lot of Cloud9, actually. Bot lane all around, Cloud9 on top. And then we have them on the board in the top 3 for jungle and mid. So, some fun stuff. I always love seeing that stat at the end of the week to see who's just outpacing the others. But now that we're at the end of our day, it has been a lot of fun. I'm really glad that we got to see such strong games to end things off. You always want to make sure you end with a banger, and back-to-back bangers is what we got coming.
Yeah. It was a fun 4 games we had on the stream today between our 2 top dogs going toe-to-toe and a couple games that were pretty closely contested. It played out really cleanly, I think, by TL Honda. And then on the back half, was it the cleanest? No. Was it fun? Yes. We had a good time. And Dig, finding that too, that was big for them. They can really take that and run with that in the PG. So excited to see what more practice means for that team as they try and incorporate Perry late into the season and really hit the peaks that they want to hit. I hope the best for Dig. They definitely got thrown a bad hand here for PG, but I hope to make the most out of it.
Yeah, it's definitely definitely been a really fun day. I'm so sad that we're at the end of our broadcast. I'm trying to figure out ways that we can sit here and just have, you know, a nice cup of coffee,
Well,
be able to talk about League of Legends a little bit longer, Desiree. I mean,
well, one last thing I want to say is, Sierra, you came into our game, you came into our
Ooh.
space, and you showed absolutely phenomenal what you can do. You are a fantastic host, Sierra. I'm glad to have you aboard.
Oh, we're just gonna end with compliments?
Yeah.
That-
you're
that's how
trying
we're
to
leaving?
trying to get the broadcast ended with me crying. I appreciate you. I appreciate you both a lot. I was gonna save it for DMs, and I'll save the more sappy stuff for DMs. But it has been an absolute honor to be able to be on this broadcast with you two and
Yeah.
everyone across the Academy staff. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm gonna chat and chill in the Twitch chat of the Academy channel as TSM takes on GG, as we can have ourselves a nice little way to unwind and completely finish off our day. Because as we were talking about, Cubby, this game actually does have stakes too.
If GG 2-0s, they get that 9th seed. So it might be the 2 bottom teams we have in our standings, but that does matter for plans who you face from the amateur crop. I think the higher seed does matter.
As well, I'll see everybody over there, but that is it from us. Thank you for production, for being amazing as always. Shout out to Kelsey, you rock. And thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. We hope you have a
Yes.
fantastic rest of your night. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you over on the Academy channel.